Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Bangers Bricks. This week I thought we would look at something other than normal buildings and something a bit different. With all of the different companies doing lots of different flowers and botanicals, then I thought it would be good to have a bit of a comparison and have a look at different brands and what their pros and their cons are. So this is going to be my War of the Roses review of 3 different brands of Lego type roses. So to start, we have the Lego set 10328 Bouquet of Roses. This has 822 pieces. It does retail for £55 or approximately $75, but I managed to get hold of this for only £35, which is about $47. Next, we have the Plaxoon SC8834 White Rose Bouquet set. This has 523 pieces and it does have some lights. I bought this for £33, which is about $44. Finally, we have the Tycole T2122 Warm Bouquet. This has 806 pieces, and I managed to get this on sale in Amazon for only £20 or $30. As always, all these sets were bought with my own money. This video is not sponsored. So here we have a look at the first set. This is the Plaxoon White Rose Bouquet with the lights. First of all, I might as well say with the lights, I don't think they add particularly much to this set. They are just a set of wire lights that you just drape around. You can probably pick these up for a couple of dollars, to be honest. So feel free to add them to your own sets. I don't think it necessarily adds massively to this, although it is a nice addition. I do think it looks quite good, but not something to buy the set for. Now, this set technically has the most different types of roses here, that there are 12 different roses, and then the sprigs here. Each of the roses are different, so you can see that the insides are different on each one, plus smaller roses, closed, open, etc., which adds some nice variety, and the leaves as well. The designs are very nice, and it's good that there is that variety within the sets. These do use specific petal pieces, so it might be considered cheating, depending on what you're thinking about the Lego sets, but this one, yeah, does have 3 different sizes of petals to go into these sets. The model itself came in just 2 bags, which does make things a little more complex, and 1 set of instructions, so no sharing with this one. But I think the overall result is very pleasing. Yes, it is cheating a little bit with the petals, but I think it's a very nice looking bouquet, and I don't think will look out of place at all on a windowsill or in your house. So next up is the Tycole Warm Bouquet. I'm not quite sure why it's called a warm bouquet, because personally I associate these as cooler colours, but I think it's still a very nice bouquet, even kind of gothy really, which I quite like. This one I think has more variety than the Plaxoon one. There are 9 different types of plants, and each of them are duplicated, of these types are duplicated, and then 1 each of the different roses, which are different shapes, uh, different pieces, and they're obviously different colours. Once again, this does use petal pieces, which does make for a very nice looking rose, it has to be said. There are more different types of pieces for these ones, and it does look very nice. But yeah, there is something about reusing normal Lego pieces that I really appreciate. But I think the variety on this one is fantastic. There are lots of different plants here. in the different colours, and it does have that bit more variety than the Plaxoon one, which obviously, while technically had more types of roses, obviously looks a lot more uniform than this one does. And finally, here we have the Bouquet of Roses by Lego themselves. And I really like these ones. As you might have guessed, I do like the fact that they are built from normal pieces, that they are not specific petal objects. There's bonnets from, or hoods for Americans, from cars, there's all sorts of pieces which make this up. And I really like that. I love the fact that they're reusing different pieces from normal sets to make up these flowers. So they are properly Lego built sets rather than just faking some pieces and sticking them together for Lego like sets. Not that there's anything wrong with using the other ones, but just as a Lego fan, I really appreciate how these have been made up and how they look. There are, like, this is the fewest number of types of flowers here, that there are three different types of roses, and then these as well, just to add a bit of breakup of colour. But I think they are very nice. I love the details, like the red Indiana Jones whips here for the centres. And there's the wheel arches for that. I just think it comes together really well. One also other difference, which is interesting, is the stems of these are much more solidly built than the other two sets. The other two sets use the Technic rods to form the basis of the stems, whereas this comes together with these small connectors with connectors in between, which makes a much thicker stem for all of the big roses, and then obviously the ski poles and things for these white flowers here. Um, I don't think it's necessarily one's better than the other, but it's an interesting difference for these. So, to my conclusion, well, which one's best? It's a difficult decision. I think actually all three of them are very good in different ways. And depending which one to buy, depends an awful lot on what you want. I do think the Lego roses do look some of the best, I think. Obviously, they are more simple. They do use the different pieces, which I really like, the normal pieces. They are very simple, very classic looking, and I do think they look great. I think they are expensive at full price, but it is quite easy to get them reduced. They seem to be reduced everywhere. I mean, I bought these at the local supermarket on special offer, so it's definitely the easiest to get hold of out of all of the sets. Next, with the Plaxoon set, I do think the lights are a gimmick. I really wouldn't put much stock on those. I hope they haven't increased the price of these sets due to that, because I don't think it really adds much. And you could do very easily the exact same on any of the other sets for only a few dollars. It does technically have the most designs of roses, but I think at a quick glance you'd probably be hard pressed to tell that. I'm not sure it's really necessary, and it does obviously use those special pieces for this rather than using normal pieces, if that means anything to you. It does look nice though. I like the look. The champagne color I think is very bright, and I think that's a lovely set. Um, it is about the same price as the Lego one after the various discounts that I managed to get. And so I think it is much more directly comparable with that. And out of the two, I probably would pick the Lego one rather than this one. And finally, we have the Tycole set. I've not really heard of this brand before, but looking online, they do lots of different sets. Some of them look really nice. So certainly by my experience with this one, I think I probably will buy those in the future. I think it's a lovely set. I think there's a lovely amount of variety here, not just variety in the type of roses and the colour, but also all of the other type of plants that go with it. And yes, obviously that could be said by lots of other sets that you can buy that have much more variety in them. But I think this one works really, really well. And I would really recommend it. And for the price, it was honestly an absolute steal. £20 or $30 for all of this, I think, is absolutely incredible. It's the second largest number of pieces. Yeah, I think it's really, really good. The other thing to note from all of these sets was the ease of building. Um, I really like that the Lego one comes with individual instruction booklets. So 3 instruction booklets, so you can build it multiple people. A lot of the builds are very repetitive, so it's really nice that multiple people can have that without having to resort to downloading all of the instructions. The Tycole one just had 1 instruction book, and the Plaxoon had 2 instruction books. When it comes to the pieces involved, I really like with the Lego and the Tycole ones that they are all individual bagged, which makes it a lot easier differentiating between the different pieces needed for each of the builds. That made it a lot more simple. This one here with the Plaxoon just came in 2 bags, which did make it a little more difficult, and sometimes there was a little bit of confusion over which of the petals to use. But overall, I don't think you can go too far wrong. If you have the money and like the part aesthetic, then I think the Lego one is a fantastic purchase. If you're wanting something cheap, then I think the Tycole one has to win it out. I don't think it looks markedly worse than any of the others at all. In fact, I'd say quite the opposite. And price-wise was incredible. But yeah, I don't think you can go too far wrong. And yeah, I really love all of these different flowers. At least for us, it means that we don't kill them, which we normally do with any of the flowers that we have in the house. So yeah, if you're looking for Lego flowers, then I think these are some excellent ones to go for. So thank you very much for joining. If you'd like to see more of these botanical reviews, then please do put a comment under the video. And if you could like and subscribe, that will really help the channel. And thank you very much, and see you next time.